I'm going to record to my computer. Perfect. So this is recording. Give me about an hour or so after this class. What I do is I just download it from Zoom. I upload it to YouTube, and then I'll shoot you all an email with the YouTube link so that you can check it out. I'm also going to shoot you an email with some additional links on our YouTube, just some additional trainings if you want to check them out. That is a great place if you haven't subscribed yet. If you hit the little subscribe button on there, we always launch all of our new features, all that good stuff on there. So I'll make sure you get an email after the fact. 100% recording always goes out. As far as advanced training goes, if you are brand new to the platform, if you have not done your onboarding yet, okay, so if you haven't done your call with Nick yet, just make sure that you take some time when you log into your account. On the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see a join live training button. It's also in the left menu. Just make sure you log in, choose a time for your level 1 onboarding. Nick is going to make sure he sets you up with your profile questions, your colors, your headshot, your logo, all that good stuff. So all of your setup stuff you do with Nick on your onboarding. This is the level 2 advanced training. So we don't do any of the profile setup. We don't do any of that preliminary stuff. We're going to jump right into the advanced features. But that being said, stick around. If you haven't done the onboarding yet, it's okay. You're still going to get a ton of value out of this. If you don't have a ton of generations under your belt, you might be like, whoa, hold on, wait a second. But that's okay. That's why you're going to get the recording. You're all good. I just always like to mention, if you haven't done your onboarding with Nick, make sure you do it. Nick will take very, very good care of you. And I think that's it. You're going to get the recording. We're going to get started. Questions in the chat. We will get to them at the end. If we don't, we've got the email in there, and I think we are set to go. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we can follow along. Actually, let me zoom into the actual size. Sometimes I like to zoom out on my browser so that I can see everything, but it's not the best for sharing your screen. There we go. All righty. Okay, let me put me here. Fantastic. Lily, do you want to do a favor and just give me a thumbs up if you see my screen, okay? Thank you, Lily. I appreciate it so much. Okay, I'm going to minimize your guys' heads. Move this. Okay, beautiful. All righty. So, two quick things to go over before we get into advanced training. I'm going to touch on these things throughout the advanced training, but for those of you who have been on an advanced training before, you know that we always mention any new launches or new features at the beginning of advanced training so that you know all the latest and greatest. If you got the email from this morning, you know that we have recently launched French and Spanish translations. So those will be on all generated posts as well as through the AI twin generation flow. So we're going to touch on that as we go through the training, but I just want to give that a special mention because that is the latest feature that just launched as of this morning. We're going to touch on that, of course, but just wanted to start it off with that announcement for those of you who didn't get the email or who haven't read it yet from this morning. So when you log into your account, it's going to look a little bit something like this. So this is the content calendar. If you've somehow navigated to your profile or your integrations or anything like that, you do have a left side menu up here where you can click content calendar, and then it's going to show you the nice little calendar here. So everybody's got this on their account. Depending on where you are at in your RealEstateContent.ai journey, you may or may not have content populated into your calendar. I went ahead, I've already generated some content for us to play with, but this is what it's going to look like when you have content in there. If you haven't generated anything yet, it's going to look a little bit emptier. So just something like this, but everyone is going to get the same sort of features over here. So what you're going to do, the first thing you're going to do when you're ready to generate content is you are going to navigate over to this topic bar, okay? So see where it says, what would you like your content to focus on this week? In here, you can type anything that you would like the AI to type around. Just give me 1 second, make sure everybody's muted. Beautiful. Okay. You are going to type in whatever you would like to create content around. So this can be quite literally anything, okay? You don't need to have a perfectly written sentence that's grammatically correct, and you don't need to put a whole paragraph in here. It can quite literally be anything. So you click in here, you go, top reasons why dog owners love living in Austin, Texas. So my profile is set up under Austin. As you can see, it's not grammatically correct. I missed the T in Austin, for an example. It's okay. AI is going to clean all that up. They know what you mean. You don't have to have like a perfectly flushed out topic. Now, if you don't know what you want to talk about, you just simply click right into this topic bar. So as soon as you click into it, what it's going to do is it's going to give you a bunch of different suggested topics that you can choose from if you'd like. They're all going to relate back to your profile answers. So your niche, the location you service, your ideal clients, all that good stuff. And they're all going to be real estate related. So my profile, for an example, it's set up under Austin, Texas. So as I kind of scroll down, why this spring and early summer may be an opportune time for first-time buyers to enter the Austin market before seasonal competition intensifies. Why investor clients benefit from understanding Austin's evolving neighborhood dynamics before committing capital to rental or fix and flop opportunities. So tons of really, really great real estate related topics. These are going to refresh for you every 7 days, or you can go ahead and click more topics here or here to give it a manual refresh. So you've always got a ton of options to choose from in here. These are really, really great informational real estate related topics. Now, if you guys have been on an advanced training with me before, you know that my biggest suggestion here is to try to just challenge yourself to maybe once or twice a week type in your own topic. And you will always have these topics to choose from. They are really, really great. But I just challenge you, whenever you're feeling up for it, just take a moment just to sit there and be like, okay, what are the sorts of conversations I am having with my clients that I would like to create content around? Because a lot of the times they are conversations like, why dog owners love living downtown Austin, or why retirees are really gravitating towards this specific neighborhood. Maybe it's close to trails, or it's walking distance from a grocery store, or it's got a very great community. Those sorts of conversations are the conversations you guys are having every single day that, yes, you know what? AI is going to do an incredible job of doing a ton of really informational real estate related content, but you want to also bring in some stuff that's just like interesting, like this is a great location for people who are, physically active, families who love to hike, families who love to be close to the water. The best place if you are, if you love a great nightlife, here's where you should kind of be, gravitating towards. So that kind of stuff, I always just say, you don't have to do it every time you generate, but just a couple times a month, try to just challenge yourself to type in your own topic. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly fleshed out. It doesn't have to be like, a whole paragraph or perfectly grammatically correct. Just go ahead, type it in, and AI will do its thing. So you've got the option of choosing from the suggested topics. You've got the option of typing your own topic in. And then you've also got the option of copying and pasting any URL you would like into this topic bar. So any URL/link. And an example of that is maybe there's a really great local blog that you love to read that talks about upcoming events. Or maybe there's been an announcement in the area of, a new development that's going to be ready to go for next spring, for an example. Or maybe it's even a piece of news or a recipe or quite literally anything that you can find a URL or a link for. If you copy and paste that URL and you put it into the topic field, basically what you're telling the AI is, I want you to take this URL, I want you to take this link, and I want you to read it. And I want you to create content using this as a reference, okay? So you got a really, really great blog about upcoming events. It's going to read that blog and then create a post saying, upcoming events in Austin this coming weekend or this month, etc. Really, really great option if you want to just really narrow down for the AI exactly what you want it to reference. Otherwise, these all down here, they're going to search the web. They're going to show you the sources that it used to create the post. But if you really want to drill down on a very specific URL, you can copy and paste it right in there. So great option for things like that. Of course, if you are copying and pasting a URL, just make sure that it is a public facing URL that is accessible without an account or isn't behind a paywall. So you know how some news articles will be like, oh, you need to subscribe to the New York Times to be able to read this, for an example. If you can't get through to it, neither can we to read it. So just make sure that it is a public facing URL. Same as the listing post, it's always got to be a public facing URL, can't be password protected. So things to keep in mind there. So that is your third option for choosing a topic. Your fourth option is this add attachment button right here. So this is perfect for those who, again, you want to tell the AI very specifically, I want you to read this paper, this attachment, and I want you to create content around it. So this, again, is great for like a training doc or an announcement of some kind that you would just like it to kind of parse through and use it as the reference for creating content. This is not where you are going to put headshots, logos, images, stuff like that. This is not an attachment for designs. This is an attachment for a reference. So same as the URL, same as putting your suggested topic in there. This is basically just telling the AI, read this, create a caption, and create a design around this specific document. So that's a great option for that. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click into here. I'm going to choose one of these topics. Once you have a topic ready to go, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click the generate button. And when you click the generate button, you're going to see this right navigation bar pop up. As you can see, you can scroll down. There are a bunch of different options. First thing you're going to do is you're going to check out up here. This will always be under your default persona. Most people on this call have just one default persona. You would have set it up with Nick or when you opened up your account. That's just, you know, who you are, the location you service, your clients, all that good stuff. If you have an additional persona, so if you have created more than one, so let's say my default persona is I am you know, my target market is buyers and sellers, but let's say I also create content around recruiting for my team. So I'm growing my team, I'm recruiting for my team. So I have a second persona under team recruitment. Or let's say I also offer property management and leasing services. So I also want to create some content with that as the lens. This is basically just you choose your persona and you are telling the AI, when you create content around this topic right here, so why investor clients benefit from understanding Austin's evolving neighborhood dynamics, etc. When you create content around that topic, I want you to use this persona and look at it from this lens. So whether that be your default, or maybe you want it to look at it from a property management and leasing perspective, and then it generates content talking about the benefits of working with me or a property manager for these investor clients, you know, to benefit from Austin's evolving neighborhood dynamics, for an example. Most people are going to have their default persona and it's always going to be the default persona, but this is just helpful to know if you do have more than one of them. The next thing you are going to choose is what days you would like to post on. So as you can see, you can choose up to any 7 days to generate content for. And for this one specifically, I always like to note that you want to avoid doing 7 days straight, okay? So most people, when they see 7 days, they're like, okay, amazing, I'll do the next week. But you don't want to talk about why investor clients benefit from understanding Austin's evolving neighborhood for 7 days straight. The AI is going to do a really great job of giving you a ton of variety of posts around that topic, but there's only so many ways you can really talk about that topic and to that target audience without it starting to sound a little bit repetitive, okay? So my biggest suggestion here is don't do 7 days straight. Do 7 Saturdays, for an example, like this. Amazing. Or do even better, do maybe every other Saturday. You get the gist. Just try to kind of split up that content because you don't want to be talking to investors for 7 full days straight. You really want to try to kind of split that stuff up. If you guys have been on advanced training with me before, you know that variety is the name of the game. I'm a big believer in that. So just try to split it up. All good to go. You hit generate, it's going to do its thing.
Now, it will allow you to generate 7 days worth of content per each topic, but that doesn't mean that you can only generate 7 days, schedule 7 days, and that's it. And then in 7 days from now, you need to log back in and do it all over again. No. I can generate 7 days and then I can choose another topic. I can generate another 7 days, choose another topic. I can do it all in one go right now. I can fill up the remainder of May. I can fill up all of June, schedule it, all good to go. It's just, we have limited you to 7 days per topic because we don't want you talking about the same topic for 31 days straight. Definitely gets super, super repetitive. So it's very intentional. We want to make sure you have a variety of posts going out, but you can totally, if I sit down right now and generate my content for the remainder of May and all of June, I can have my both calendars completely filled and ready to go. And then I don't have to log in again until the end of June if I don't want to. Next thing is your time. So if there is a specific time you would like your post to generate for, keeping in mind that you can always change this after the fact, same as the days. You're not, stuck with whatever day you've chosen. Once you choose the time or the day, you can always click into the post itself and switch it up after the fact. But if you do have a specific time in mind, maybe you prefer to post in the morning, or maybe you prefer to post at lunch or later in the evening, you can go ahead and select a time upon generation, of course, keeping in mind that you can change that after the fact. Most of the times are going to be set to a default of noon, because that's a pretty good, noon, people are scrolling at lunch, all that good stuff. But you are totally cool to set it to whatever time you want. I have mine set for 7 a.m. And then you can choose what type of content you want to create. Okay, so you can choose what types of posts you want to create in this generation right now. And you can see you have the choice from carousel, static, or reel. Keeping in mind that whatever you choose here, let's say you choose a reel, but you decide to change it to a carousel, or you choose a carousel, you decide to change it to a reel, you can always change that after the fact. You are not stuck with whatever post you choose here. This just kind of helps you get ahead of the generations. If you have something specific in mind, let's say you are generating for every Wednesday for the next month, and you want to make sure that there's a reel that goes out every Wednesday, you can choose it upon generation, and just get straight to the point. Now I'm going to exit out of the generation bar here on the right, because I'm going to go back into my calendar, because I want to show you guys what the differences are between a carousel and a static and a reel, for those that don't know. So I'm just going to exit out of this just for a moment. We're going to come back to it, and I'm going to go to the 16th. Okay. So here we have a carousel post. So a carousel post is a swipe through informational style post that has a bunch of different slides within it that all talk about the same topic. Okay. So this, you guys have probably seen these on social media, where you click on the post and you kind of swipe through it. It's going to have different copy on each slide. So this one, for an example, is, taking kids to open houses. Let's make it fun and stress-free for everyone. Here are some kind of tips and tricks. And I can scroll through and see, chat with your kids, pack a backpack, wear comfy clothes, visit during quiet times, et cetera, et cetera. They all match the nice caption that was generated. Carousels are going to be the most common type of post that you're going to generate, because carousels tend to do really well on socials. Basically, socials take a look at what types of posts are you putting out, and have you put a lot of effort into them. And when they see a video post, and when they see a carousel with multiple slides, immediately the algorithm is like, okay, this person has taken some time to put this post together with these multiple slides. And so they tend to do really well. Carousels are going to be your most common kind of post. And this is kind of what you can expect with a carousel. Then we've got a static post. So a static post is one single impactful image with a nice hook on it. So this one, as you can see, it's one image, says most parents make this huge mistake at open houses. And then it kind of prompts your reader to be like, oh, what's this huge mistake? And they go into your caption and they read, okay, what are these kinds of huge mistakes, and what sorts of things should I be considering when bringing kids to open houses, kind of thing. So this is a great thing to mix in as well. It's just a single high impact image. It kind of brings the person in, hey, check this out, read the caption. And then as they're reading through, they're learning something new. Things to keep in mind here are, you will notice that when you generate Facebook posts, if you have selected carousel as an option for your Facebook post, it is going to always default to a static image like this instead of the carousel. And the reason being is because Facebook doesn't support swipe through carousel style posts. What it does is it posts them kind of more like a photo album dump, and they're all kind of all over the place. It doesn't look great. Doesn't look great at all. And so we have kind of changed it so that should you choose carousel, unless of course it is a listing post, those can go out as a carousel because there's no words on them that are in order. If you choose a carousel, it's going to give you this static post like this. This is just so that we can keep your Facebook page looking nice and clean and not like a mumbo jumbo of a bunch of different slides. That being said, though, like I mentioned, if you ever want to revert to a carousel, you can totally do that within the editor, which we are going to go through together when we go through the editing portion of this training. But if you're wondering and you generate your Facebook post, you're like, wait a second, I selected carousel. You can see right here, it kind of tells you Facebook doesn't support carousels. So these posts will display as a single high impact image for better engagement. And then the third option is a reel. So this is an aesthetic B-roll style video. This just basically, I'm going to turn the volume down just so that it's not loud for you guys in your ears. But this is basically just an aesthetic B-roll video that loops. So it's going to be anywhere between 5 and 15 seconds long. It's going to loop through the video. It's going to show you, a nice interior or an exterior like this. And it's also going to have a nice hook on it. So think you found your dream home, spot these deal breakers first, read the caption. So this is getting your viewer to land on it, look at it, say, oh, okay, I'm going to go ahead and read the caption. Every time that video plays, it counts as a view. So as they're reading that caption and that 5 to 15 second long video is looping over and over and over again, it's counting as views. So this is a great option for you to sprinkle in some video content. But if you're not comfortable on video or taking your own videos, super, super easy. This is an option you have upon generation. Now, throughout this training, we are also going to talk about additional video options that you have, including slideshow videos and including uploading your own videos. We also have the new AI twins feature. So that is another option for videos. But these are the 3 different types of posts that you can choose from upon generation, just so that if you have something specific in mind, you can go ahead and choose it just right as you're generating. And then after the fact, let's say you want to make some changes, you can totally do that, which we're going to go through together. So those are the 3 different kinds of posts. I'm going to go back into that generation bar that we were just in. We're going to scroll down. You're going to choose your post type. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to choose carousel, and then you're going to choose your platforms. So, excuse me. So you can choose which platforms you want it to generate content for. You can choose Instagram, Facebook, Twitter /X, LinkedIn, or blogs. Things to keep in mind here are that for the blogs, it will generate you an SEO optimized blog. So same flow as your social media posts. It can generate you a blog. If blogging is a part of your current strategy, perfect. This is going to land on your calendar as a yellow block like this, and you can actually go ahead and copy and paste it into whichever blog hosting platform you're using. So whether it's WordPress or Squarespace or Luxury Presence, whatever, you can go ahead and copy and paste it right in and publish it however you would. For blogs, for integrations, we have the ability to integrate with Go High Level. So if you're using Go High Level and you're posting blogs to there, you are able to integrate your Go High Level with the blogs. It just so happened to be the first one that we launched, but we do plan on continuing to launch more integrations for those who are using a different blog or website hosting platform. If you are not using Go High Level and if you are not posting blogs, you do not need to sign up for Go High Level. This is just an option for those who want to integrate, okay? Next thing you're going to see is that there's no TikTok in the generation flow, something that we are looking at that we likely will introduce at some point this year, especially now that we have the AI twins option. It's just TikTok specifically does really, really well with personal talking based videos of yourself. It's not going to do great with like informational style videos. You really got to get on there and you got to just take a video of yourself. And so we have the ability to integrate with TikTok so that if you already are posting videos of yourself, if you're comfortable on camera, you can totally go ahead and schedule your own videos to publish directly to TikTok. Or if you'd like, I'm going to show you how you can repurpose these aesthetic B-roll videos to post to TikTok. However, it's just not in the generation flow quite yet. We want to make sure that when we do introduce that, it is impactful and it does what it's supposed to do. But TikTok's algorithm is very much the type that like you're competing with some serious content creators on there. So you need to be comfortable with like really putting your face on video. So you can go ahead, you can select your platforms, whichever ones you are currently posting to or would like to post to, and then you can go ahead and click the generate content button. Now, as you guys can see, there's an advanced settings option just right down here. I am going to skip that part and we're going to come back to that at the very end, okay? There are a ton of really, really great options in there, but I want to make sure that we've gone through the rest of the platform first so that you deeply understand what those advanced settings are. And then at the very end, we're going to pop into advanced settings and that's going to make so much more sense for you. So I'm intentionally skipping the advanced settings, but don't worry, we're going to come back to them at the very end. So you go ahead, you click generate. It's going to go ahead and generate your content for you. I've already generated some content for us to play around with, so we don't have to go through that process. But as you guys know, if you have generated content, when it's generating, it comes in, it's these shimmering rectangle tiles. That's how you know that your posts are generating. And then once they have landed, they will land more solid like this. So as you can see at a glance, every platform is color coded. So your Instagram posts are always going to be pink. Your Facebook posts are always going to be blue. Your LinkedIn, teal. Your X, black. And your blogs are yellow. So you already see at a glance, it's all color coded. You're going to see the little logos on the bottom left-hand corner as well, just showing you exactly what platform each of them is. And then you can also just hover your mouse on top of it, and this will give you a preview of that post. So you don't actually have to click into each individual post to see it. If you're wondering, oh shoot, what was that one on Thursday again? Let me just do a quick hover and it's just going to give you a little preview so you can see it at a glance and it'll kind of refresh your memory. So as you can see, you just kind of scroll over, it'll show you what these posts are. Now, you're also going to notice that your posts always land as unscheduled. So here they're red, they say unscheduled, they're in an unscheduled status, okay? So nothing will ever publish to your socials unless you have given it the A-OK and it will go out, okay? So you don't have to worry about, let's say you get in a really creative mindset and you've generated a whole month worth of content and then you get sidetracked. You have a client call you and then one of your kids needs to get picked up from school and you're like, oh my God, I completely forgot what I was doing. And you come back to this, don't worry, nothing is going to publish without you giving it the A-OK. And that doesn't have to take a long time. You can click into it and fully review everything, which we're going to go over together. Or if you want to do a mass approval, you can always click into the top here, click approve content and approve all, and that will bulk approve all of your content. Now, I definitely suggest taking a look at your content. I mean, the AI is literally doing 90% of the work for you. You can click into a post, just give it a quick once over, make sure you're happy with what it looks like. Doesn't have to take a lot of time. You can take as little time as you'd like or as much time as you'd like. But essentially, this post will not publish until it is scheduled. So a scheduled post, when you click into it and you scroll down and click schedule and approve, that is going to change that unscheduled status up there to a scheduled status. You can see that it's changed to green. This means that it is going to go out on this day and this time to this platform. If I want to make any additional changes to this post, I need to make sure to do so before May 24th at 7 a.m. Because once that time comes and Instagram publishes my post, once that post is in the wild and has launched on Instagram, I cannot make changes to it through RealEstateContent.ai, okay? I need to actually go on my phone or on my computer, log into Instagram, find that post, delete it, or change the caption, okay? So if you want to make any changes, you've got to make sure you make it before the post goes out. If it's in a schedule status, it's basically locked and ready to go. Like it is locked up, it's good to go. You need to actually go ahead and click unschedule to open it back up. And now you can go ahead and edit the caption and edit the design and all that good stuff. And just make sure, obviously, that you unschedule it first and that any changes you want to make happen before the post goes out. So now that we've gone ahead, we've unscheduled it, I'm going to show you guys the process of taking a look at your post and just giving it the A-OK, okay? So I've gone ahead at the 24th, I'm gonna click into that Instagram post, and as I scroll down, you're going to see that every post that was generated is going to have a different caption depending on what the platform is. So, Twitter is going to look different than LinkedIn, which looks different than Facebook. It's also going to have a different design too. So I have mine set so that the design template is the same for each platform in a given day, but you'll see that the copy on every slide or on whatever media you've chosen is going to be different per each platform. So what it says on my Instagram, for an example, is different than what it says on my Facebook. Okay. So you're going to take a look, you're going to click into your post, and you're going to just quickly give it a once over, okay? Here's where your status is. So as you can see, mine is unscheduled. Here's the time. So I have it for May 24th, 7 a.m. But again, like I mentioned in the generation flow, if you want to go ahead and change that, you can click into that, change the date, change the time. You've got tons of options here, okay? You're not stuck with the time that you chose upon generation. Then we have, let me just minimize you guys. Then the first thing you are going to do is you are going to check out your caption. So your caption that goes along with your design will always be in the middle of your post. So as you can see, here's the caption that was generated. You're going to go ahead and you're going to give it a quick once over. If you're happy with it, leave it as is. If you want to make any tweaks to it, you can go ahead and click into edit caption, and then you can make any tweaks you would like either manually by typing it in, or let's say you're like, oh, I'm not really digging that call to action and I want to remove this emoji or add that emoji or reword this sentence. Perfect. You can go ahead and just type into it, hit save. Awesome. Now, let's say you're taking a look at the caption and you're like, oh, you know what? Actually, I want to regenerate the entire caption from scratch. I'm not quite hitting the mark, or I want it to be written a certain way. You can go ahead, you can click regenerate this caption. And now this is going to give you some additional options down here, okay? So you can use one of these shortcuts down here. Let's say you want to make it shorter, you can go ahead and select make it shorter. If you want to make it more personal, so you want it to take more of your profile information and kind of sprinkle it in throughout the caption, go ahead and click more personal. If you want it to be less personal, so you're like, you know what, don't reference me, don't reference my expertise, nothing personal about me, remove that, you can go ahead and click less personal. It'll regenerate the entire caption for you, as well as the corresponding design. So, well, not design, the copy on the design. So that way, whatever it regenerates your caption to, your copy on your actual post matches the caption. You can also ask the AI to do something specific. So let's say you're like, ooh, I want you to rewrite this, but focus a little bit more on this, or focus a little bit less on this, or rewrite this in bullet point form, or add more emojis, or be more humorous, give this a humorous spin. You can go ahead and type and tell the AI exactly what you would like it to do. It'll regenerate with your feedback in mind, and then you'll have a brand new caption to look at. This is also just a quick little thing down here, is that obviously your slides or your reel or whatever you've chosen will always regenerate so that they match your new caption. But if for whatever reason you want to keep the slide copy or the reel copy the same, you only want to regenerate the caption, you don't want it to regenerate the words, just go ahead, uncheck that, and then it won't regenerate any of the words on your slides. But this will by default always be checked just so that the two match, but it's entirely up to you how you want it to look. So once you are happy with that caption, you're like, yes, this is fantastic, I like this. The next thing you are going to do is you are going to take a look at the media, so the design that goes with it. This was a carousel post that I selected. You can see kind of as I click through the different slides, I can take a look and check out the copy. I've got my colors on there. My colors are orange and yellow. Okay, fantastic. If you like it, perfect, go ahead and hit schedule. If there's anything you would like to change, this is where you're going to access the editor. So as you guys can see on the right-hand side here of this post, this is where all the additional features are. Don't worry, we are going to come back to all of those after we have gone through the editor in depth. So I'm not ignoring this part. We will come back to it after. But the first thing you're going to do is caption. Second thing you're going to do is check out your design. So if you want to make any changes to your design, whether it be the post type, the colors, the wording, the fonts, anything, you can go ahead, you can click into edit design. And what this is going to do is this is going to give you access to the built-in editor. So this, as you kind of scroll down, you'll see you have each individual slide that was generated that you can click through. You are going to be able to make changes to every aspect of this post, okay? So first thing, if you want to add or remove any slides, you can go ahead, click this little garbage can button, remove the slide entirely if you would like. This is a great way if you've chosen carousel and you decide, hey, you know what, I actually just want one image or two images, go ahead, just delete any additional slides, and now you've got a shorter carousel or just one impactful image. You can also go ahead and drag and drop your slides to kind of rearrange them if you want to rearrange them. You've got those options as well. As you are looking at your design, you can move individual elements around. So whether that be text or shapes or your headshot, you can go ahead, drag and drop, move them around the same way you would any other editor. You can double click text boxes, and then you can set your font if there's a specific font you'd like to change it to, or change the size or the color of it, or bold, italicize it, change the alignment, underline it. You have tons of different options here. If there's something else you were kind of thinking of, you just go ahead, double click it, make the change. You can even change the copy. So, you know, maybe you just want to remove the in Austin part here. So keep more of your paycheck, exclamation mark. Perfect. You just go ahead. You can make the changes directly to the slides right on them. Now, you guys are going to notice that when you click into the editor, you're immediately taken to the templates, okay? So here on the left-hand side, you're going to see a ton of really great design templates that you can choose from. So as you scroll down, you're going to see they're really, really nice. They're minimalistic. They work for you whether you are in a hot climate or a cold climate. They're just like really, really nice universal templates. As you scroll down, you can kind of see, okay, maybe I want to choose one of these other ones, a different kind of look. Now, my biggest suggestion here is up here in the red title, I guess, this quick controls button, go ahead and open that up. Because what this is going to do is this is going to take your brand colors that you set up, and it's going to give you a quick control for those brand colors. So my brand colors are orange and yellow. So it's giving me some variations of my brand colors. And if I go ahead and select one of these variations, see how the suggested templates has changed. So it's added that color template to all of those suggested templates. So now I don't have to manually go in and add my colors to those templates. It's already automatically added them to all of them. See how I'm scrolling through and I can just be like, ooh, okay, if I use this template right here, this is what it's going to look like. Let's go ahead and select that template. Okay, cool, cool, cool. That's awesome. I like that. Or, you know, maybe let's check out and see what this one's going to look like. Now, again, you can go through the other variations of your color palette. So let's select the next one. And now see how it's applied this other variation of my color palette. So this one's a little more orange forward. Awesome. Now I can kind of take a look and see, okay, if I choose this template here, this is what it's going to look like. So if I choose this template here, this is what that's going to look like. Fantastic. Really, really easy way. Those quick controls are a really, really easy way to just auto apply your brand colors to all the templates, and then you are quick in and out of here. You click into templates, you're adding your quick controls, you find one that you like, fantastic, save and exit, you're good to go. You can also do that for the font. So if you have a specific font that you love and you want to set it for the header font or the subtext font, every carousel post has a header and a subtext. You can go ahead, you can choose it right here. Header and subtext, even the contact font. If you have a very specific font you'd like to see for the contact variables, you can go ahead and select it here. And then that's going to do the same thing. That's going to apply those fonts to all of the templates immediately. And then you can see immediately what that's going to look like and select whichever one you like, and then you're good to go. So that is a great, great way of just choosing a template and very quickly adding your brand fonts and colors to it. The other option you have in here is when you're in templates, see how I'm under images because this is a carousel post. If at this point you're like, you know what, I chose carousel upon generation, but I think I screwed up. I think I actually would rather this be a reel. I want this to be a video. Here is where you can go ahead and select Reels. And now this is going to give you the same thing, some suggested templates, but for Reels. So I'm going to give this a second just to load in the video. Maybe we'll click this one right here so that it's ready to go. What that's going to do is that's going to load in that aesthetic B-roll style video. And now no more carousel slides. You just have that impactful hook with a call to action to read the caption. Let's say you want to change that video in the background. You're going to see that Reels have opened up here on the left, and you can go through the Reel library and put in any video that you would like in the background. So let's say we want to do this kind of pantry, beautiful, or the front of this house, beautiful. And now you've got that nice video. So if you've chosen a carousel upon generation, don't worry, you change your mind. You could just simply go into the editor, change it to whatever you want. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to undo though for the purposes of this demonstration, because I actually would like it to be a carousel post. So let's say we've selected this template. We're like, okay, this is beautiful. This is perfect. Only thing though is that, you know, I'm not really digging the back of it. I want something different. I want something maybe sunnier, or maybe my Instagram is really colorful and fun, and this is just a little too minimalistic for me. I want something a little bit more colorful. What you're going to do if you want to swap the background images, you're going to click into images, and then that's going to open up the image library for you. Okay. So within the image library, I think now we're at like 22,000 maybe images in here. There are a lot of images in here. Okay. There is everything in here, from interiors, exteriors, warmer climates, colder climates. There's people in here. There's pets in here. There's people biking and kayaking and technology like iPads and laptops and all that good stuff. So there are a ton of images to choose from. Depending on what image is in your carousel, it's going to bump you to that image in the library immediately, so you can very easily find it and similar images. If you are looking for the most like up to date, the brand new images that we've added to the library, we add new images to the library every single week. Go ahead, scroll to the top. All of the new images will always land in the top of the library. So that's where all the brand new ones will land. As you scroll down, you're going to look for an image that you really love that you want to swap into the background. One thing you are going to notice is that we have very intentionally grouped similar images. So as you can see here, see this nice house, this could totally be in Austin, Texas. Perfect. So as you see this nice house here, if you want to swap the image of all the carousel, the background image of all the carousels, all the slides within your carousel, you can go ahead, you can find the image you like, click the three dots in the top right-hand corner and scroll down to set all backgrounds. What that does is that's going to swap the background for every single slide within that carousel, and now you've got the background that you want. But let's say you want to change the background for each individual slide within your carousel, but you still want them to look nice and cohesive. You're going to click into the slide you want to make changes for, find the image, three dots, set as background. So not all backgrounds, as background. Let's do the third one. We do the same thing, set as background. Let's do the fourth one. We do the same thing, set as background. And we'll do the fifth one, do the same thing. Let's do this one over here, set as background. You get the gist. Now, as you scroll through that carousel, every image in the background is going to be a different image, but they all match each other. They all look very intentional. They look cohesive. They look like you spent a ton of time curating all these images to match each other. But we've very intentionally kind of grouped them together. So if there is a vibe that you are looking for, let's say you're more bright and airy or dark and moody, you can go ahead, you can find the images that you love and you're like, okay, fantastic. These all kind of match each other. You can swap to all of them being the same, or you can have a different one in the background, or you can alternate one and then the other, one and then the other. Totally up to you how you want to do it. Now within here, there is a search and filter feature as well. If you've been on one of my trainings, you know that this is still learning. The AI is still learning kind of how to read these images. And the best thing I can describe is that, like, sometimes, for an example, like if you're in Austin and you're looking at homes in Austin, the homes that you see in Austin can very well also be in Dallas. They can very well also be in Amarillo. They're interchangeable, right? Whereas, and you know that as a human being, but as an AI, you're like, ooh, homes in Austin. You're specifically looking for images that are tagged homes in Austin, and you're not quite sure, like you don't know that if you look at a home that was taken in Austin, yes, but it could totally work for a setting in Houston or Dallas, for an example. The AI isn't quite the greatest at that. So my biggest suggestion here, obviously use the search feature, use the filters. They're getting better and better every week. But when you go through this image library, you are going to see these little hearts on the top left-hand corner, okay? And these are really cool because every single account within images under folders comes with a favorites folder. So you're going to see a nice pink favorites folder. You all have a favorites folder. And as you scroll through the different carousel packs, what you're going to do is you're just going to heart the ones that you like best. Whether they fit the area that you live in, whether they fit your vibe, maybe you have a very, minimalistic Instagram, or maybe you have a very colorful Instagram, whatever it is, you're going to go ahead, you're going to scroll down and you're going to heart whichever ones you really, really love. And as you heart those images, they're immediately going to get added to the favorites folder as well. And this is super helpful because then when you go ahead and you edit your posts in the future, you are quite literally going to choose a template with your colors, with the quick colors, and then you're going to go directly into your favorites folder under images, and you're just going to choose from one of your favorite images. You don't even have to touch the library if you don't want to touch the library. You've got all of your favorites in your favorites folder already. This is also very helpful because I'm going to show you guys at the very end when we had gone through the generation flow and I said, let's ignore the advanced settings. We're going to come back to this. I'm going to show you guys at the very end how you can tell the AI, I want you to only choose from this specific folder when you are generating my content. So it's super helpful to have that favorites folder nice and beefed up for many reasons. One, because it's going to make editing a breeze. And then two, because you can tell AI immediately only choose from this specific folder. And I promise you, there are so many photos in here, but I promise you that going through this entire library is going to take you like 45 minutes tops. Because I know immediately, for an example right here, when I hit these, there is nothing in Austin that looks like this. I know that this isn't me. I'm scrolling past it and I'm going to the next carousel block that does. Okay. So you're going to go through this a lot faster than you think you will. Just go ahead, beef up that favorites folder, and then you are going to be good to go. Okay. So if you're I'm taking notes right now, that is the one thing, is to just set aside some time where you can build out that favorites folder, and it's going to make your life a million times easier. Other thing, if you are taking notes right now, is that quick controls underneath templates so that you can add your colors very, very quickly. But those are some very important things. Other thing you're going to find with the images is that if you ever want to add an image to your design as not to background, so you just want to simply add it as a sticker on top of your design, just go ahead, click it. You're not going to do the 3 dots. You're not going to set as background. You're just going to click it and it's going to add it as a sticker. And then you can really get creative with it, whether you want to maybe create a collage or you want to do kind of one photo on top of the other, entirely up to you. You're going to use it the same way you would any other editor. Tons of options through there. Of course, once you click, you've got the option to corner around. You can set the transparency. You can kind of rotate. You can do whatever you would like and get really, really creative with it. Other options you have within here are uploading images. So if you have an image that you would like to use within your designs, you can go ahead and upload it directly from your device into the editor, and then you can use it, whether that be a team photo or yourself or an image you've taken, any of that good stuff. This is also where you are going to find your Canva integration. So if you are an avid user of Canva, if you have integrated your Canva, you're going to be able to click upload images, and you are going to be able to bring any of your designs that you've created on Canva directly into the editor. Keeping in mind that the editor in Canva and the editor in here are 2 completely different editors. So you're not going to be able to move, individual elements around that you've brought in from Canva. So an example is, here's a Canva design right here for an example. I'm not going to be able to, change the colors back here or move him out of here or anything like that, because this is a completed design from Canva. So just keep that in mind. If you are bringing in Canva designs, they are going to be completed. The individual elements are not going to be movable on this editor. So keep them minimal, keep them something like this. Or if you do have a busy Canva design, that's okay, bring it in. You just know that you might have to delete some of these elements so that it's not looking a little crazy when it's set as a background. So those are some options for the images. The next is you have shapes. So you do have a folder of shapes as well. So within here, we've got our square, rectangle, triangle, etc. You can go through the different shape options, click into it, find the one that you want. When you find the one that you want, it's going to get added to your design, and then you can go ahead and place it wherever you want. Obviously, you can make it large like I just did, change the color, the transparency, all that good stuff. You can really kind of get creative with it if you are a creative person and if this is something that you want to do. Again, you don't have to. It's entirely up to you how much you change or how little you change. Entirely up to you, but you've got those options. You've got the text, of course. So all of the designs come with your header and your subtext, and then you have a little option down here to add additional text as well. So let's say you do want to add additional text, whatever that may be, whether it's a tagline or you just want a larger kind of text that says something, go ahead, add text. This is going to function the same way that editing the rest of your text does. You just double click into it, type, set that font, set that color, all that good stuff. So you've got that option as well. And then your branding. So this is where your font colors are going to land, as well as your contact information that you filled out, as well as any headshots you uploaded or logos that you uploaded when you set up your account. So this makes it really, really easy if you want to swap a headshot, for an example. So let's say we want to swap to Mark's headshot here. I can just go ahead and select it. I definitely recommend that if you have more than one headshot, you should put them in here. Whether it's, you're facing different directions or you have a different outfit on or something like that, put them in here because it's going to make your life so much easier to swap headshots just simply by clicking it in here. You don't have to go, one by one. Same as your logos. Right now I have this big R for my logo, but let's say I want to change it to a smaller one. I just go ahead, I click it, it immediately changes that logo, makes it really easy. These contact fields are all optional, so you never have to add. Let's say you don't like your phone number on things. That's okay. Toggle it off. You don't even have to have it on that. That's totally fine. It's completely up to you. These are also optional text fields. So if you need to add your DRE number or your license number, or maybe you'd rather have your team name or a catchphrase or anything like that, you can go ahead and type whatever you would like into any of these fields. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this order and what is in here. This is just kind of how we've set it up, with keeping in mind that your name, this field right here, will always be the most prominent on most of the designs. So as you can see on this design template, the name kind of stands out. It's different than the rest of the contact variables. So just keep that in mind. Don't put something stupid in there. Put something that you actually care about, because it will kind of stand out. So those are things to keep in mind. And then, of course, with the contact fields. So as you guys probably have noticed, some templates have your contact toggles on every slide within the carousel. Some have it on just the first and the last. Some have it on just the last or just the first. Things like Reels don't have the contact text on them. And the reason is because it's intentional. We want to make sure that the templates you are putting out have a ton of variety. You don't want them all to look the exact same, okay? So it's very, very intentional. We have it here so that you can very easily toggle them all on and apply them all if that is something that's important to you, is your contact info on every slide. However, it is intentional that we don't have it on every slide, just because we want to make sure that the posts you're putting out, they look different. There's variety in them. Remember, variety is the name of the game. Other thing here is it's completely up to you. If you guys have been on advanced training with me, you know that I'm a big proponent of do not go overkill with your contact information. Contact information is perfect for your footer or your captions. Contact information and headshots are perfect to put in, here and there, but you don't have to have this blurb on every single slide unless you really want to. But just know that, if somebody has made it to slide 5 out of 6 slides, they know whose Instagram they are on. They're going to get your contact information if they want it. You don't need to necessarily have it on every single slide. But again, it's entirely up to you how you set your posts up. So a couple additional things before we exit out of the editor are, of course, you've got layer controls. So on the top, you've got your layer controls, same way you do with any other editor. if you want to control where things land. So see how my headshot is on top of that big rectangle? You're going to find my headshot, I guess it's a square that's been pulled, but you're going to find that my headshot is on top of that in the layers. If I want that square rectangle to appear on top of me, I just simply go ahead and pull that ahead of my headshot, okay? So same as lines, circles, all that good stuff. The layers are just going to help you kind of decide which element goes on what layer wise. You can control it up there. You can control your brightness. So if you want it to be a little bit darker or a little bit lighter, for an example, you can go ahead, you can control your brightness, and you can do this for the entire carousel pack, or you can do this for like one slide at a time, entirely up to you. Color palettes or any additional color palettes that you have created or you want to go through. If you just want to quickly access a color palette, you've got your undo and your redo. So as you're editing, if you ever want to undo or redo, you can go ahead and do that. And then honestly, probably the most helpful feature within the editor outside of the favorites and the quick controls, which are my two favorites, is this little link feature down here. So here you're going to see this little icon. It kind of looks like a little bit of a paper clip or an infinity symbol, sort of that link feature. And when you click it, you can exit out of it, or when you click it again, you can open it up. Think of this as like a master paper clip or a master link. And what this does is this tells the AI, so when you're editing, this tells it that, hey, what I do to this slide right now, I want you to make sure to do to all of the like upcoming slides as well. So an example of that is, let's say you want to move that header font or that header text right here, and I have this open. So this is telling it, hey, I want you to link all of them together. So what I do to this slide, do to all the other slides. I now pull this all the way up. See how they all went up with it? So every slide is going to make that same change without having to do one at a time, at a time, at a time. So easy. Same as your subtext. Let's say we want to move the subtext for whatever reason over here. I know this looks ugly, but just bear with me here. See how it's moved on all of the slides? Nice and easy. I'm not having to do it one by one. We're all good to go. When that link is turned off, you are basically telling it, hey, whatever I do to this slide, I don't want you to do to the other slides. I am treating this slide as its own thing. They are not linked. The link is off. The paperclip is off. So let's say now I move that header back down here. It's moved for this slide, but as you can see in the other slides, the headers in the other slides have not moved. They've stayed where they were before. So this is a very, very helpful feature for those who are going to do extensive editing. This is going to save you a ton of time. Now, one final thing before we exit out of the editor is that if you are happy with your design, let's say we've spent a lot of time on this, we're like, this is beautiful. I want to use this again in the future as a starting point. So same as those suggested templates, I want to be able to visit this in the future and use this for a future post. Maybe I tweak the colors, maybe I tweak the background, but I like this as a starting point. If you like what you've created, before you save and exit, go ahead and click save as a template, save as a new template, okay? And now when you go back into your templates, you know how we were in the suggested templates earlier? You're also going to notice that there's a saved templates up here. And within saved templates, it's gone ahead and it's going to save any templates that you choose to save. So that in the future, when you are editing a post and you're like, ooh, you know, I want to start off with that template, one of the templates that you've worked on, you can go ahead, you can choose any one of them and use it as a starting point. So great option for those of you who are super creative, who want to create your own templates to play around with. Now, when you're happy, you click save and exit. It's going to save all of your changes. I'm not going to save and exit just because we were playing around with it. Let's say that we saved that. That's all my changes. Fantastic. Now we're happy with it. If you're happy, you've checked out the caption, you've checked out the design, you can go ahead, click schedule and approve, and it's going to schedule to go out on the day and time chosen. Now, a couple additional things here on the right side, the more features. So it's always going to land in post caption, so you can check out the caption. You also have, you can ignore this second part, the syndicate post, this is just on my account. But you're also going to have the option to tag and collaborate for Instagram posts. So this is going to work the same way it does directly on Instagram, okay? So you need to make sure that you type in the person's handle properly. So if it's, you know, real estate with underscore Nick 01. I got to make sure that I'm writing that properly. I'm not accidentally putting a dash instead of an underscore or a 0 I instead of a 01. Make sure you're mindful of how you are typing the handle in. Collaborations are going to work the same way they do right now on Instagram. So on the date and the time that that post is scheduled to go out for, that person will get a notification on their Instagram that you have invited them to collaborate on a post. They can choose to either approve or not approve it. If they approve it, that post will be co-hosted and will live on both of your feeds, okay? You can collaborate with up to 4 users. They have to be public profiles. Tags, you can tag up to 20 users. Same rules apply on Instagram. If they have any additional, settings that don't allow people to tag them, then it just simply won't tag them. But if you have tagged them and you've typed in their handle properly, it's going to show up in their tagged posts. So not as a collaboration on their feed, but in their tagged posts. This is a great way to kind of tag different team members, or even like local restaurants and businesses. If you're talking about them in your post, fantastic way to kind of get more people kind of discovering you through tagged images. So you can do that as well. You can tag up to 20 users. You can also convert any carousel post to a video. So this button right here, convert to video, this is going to take any carousel post. So whether it's an informational one like this, maybe it's a listing post, maybe it's a carousel you've created from scratch. You click convert video, you're going to choose your slide pause time. You're going to choose your transition type. You're going to choose whatever sound you want, and you're going to click convert to video. And what that does is that takes that carousel post and it turns it into a slideshow video like this. So I'm going to turn the volume down just so it's not loud for you guys. But as you can see, this is another really fantastic way to sprinkle in video content, but it's different than the aesthetic B-roll reels, and you're not having to go ahead and, take a video of yourself. Super, super nice and easy. Great way to kind of post those carousel posts, but in a video format. You can also generate an AI image. So when you click into generate AI image, what it's going to do is it's going to give you a nice description. What AI does is it's going to give you a description of what it thinks would make a really fantastic background image. So this is one that might not be a great example because that's one that I typed in. But when you go generate AI image, it's going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. So as you can see, a group of young professionals stands on a balcony overlooking Austin's skyline at sunset, holding champagne glasses as they celebrate their financial achievements, symbolizing the benefits of living in a state with no income tax. Now, if you guys have been on advanced training with me before, you know that when it comes to this, I'm like, get rid of this. Honestly, way too much. AI aims to please, okay? So it's going to give you the best of the, let's toast champagne to our financial freedom, whatever. You don't want that. Just delete it, okay? Get straight to the point. You know what you want your image to be. You want to just give it something quick like this. A beautiful Austin skyline at sunset. A cozy cafe. A canoe on a serene lake. Just straight to the point. You don't have to do too much with it. Just you have an image in mind of what you want that background image to be. So this is a perfect option. Instead of going into that editor and going through the library, the image library like we did, this is like, let's say you've looked at the caption, you love what the text says. You're like, oh, I have this image in mind, in my head that I think would make a great background image, but I don't have the time to find a stock photo of it or to go through the image library. I just want to tell the AI, hey, plug this image into the background. You type that right in, okay? You can choose whether you want people generated in it or not. I really love to toggle the people off just because I'm a minimalist. I like it to just be like straight to the point, entirely up to you. I toggle it off, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is an example of an Austin skyline at sunset. This generated this image from scratch. It's a one-of-one unique image. I didn't have to go look for one. I didn't have to take the image. I didn't have to go into the image folder. I just simply told the AI, hey, can you swap it to this image right here? All the text is still there, captions still there. That's what it would look like if you generate an AI image. So that is a great additional option. You've also got the option to generate a video script. So if you click to generate a video script, What that is going to do is that's going to take that caption and it's going to generate a script for you. Now, you can't record videos through RealEstateContent.ai, but if you are already comfortable taking videos, if that's already a part of something you're doing, if you're already, following video scripts and that's something that's like in your flow, go ahead, click generate video script. That's going to take that fantastic caption that it gave you, and it's going to give you a video script that you can follow. So you pick up your phone, you hit record, hey, Austin Dreamers, imagine keeping more of your paycheck and investing in a future right at the heart of downtown Austin. I'm Roberta Reck from Reck Realty, and today we're discovering how young professionals like you can maximize your earnings and lifestyle here in Austin. And you just follow that, you take a video of yourself, and then once you have a video of yourself, let's say you're like, okay, fantastic, love this caption. Now I have a video of me talking about this topic. I actually want to completely swap out that generated template and I want to upload my video that I just took from whatever device I've taken it on. You can go ahead, you can click those three dots and you can click upload media. And what that does is that allows you to upload any photo or any video in place of the media. So you can sprinkle in, you can take full advantage of that nice generated caption, but let's say you have a video or a photo that you think fits better, or that you would just like, maybe you just want to sprinkle in a little bit more of your own personal videos through it. Now you can go ahead, you can keep that nice caption, click upload media from your desktop, upload any image or video, and now that's replaced that AI generated template. And now you've got a nice photo or video of yourself to go out. Another fantastic option. Again, completely optional, but you've got so many different ways that you can post, tons of different ways that you can post variety. Remember, variety is the name of the game. So if you do want to, get creative and upload a photo of yourself here and there, you've got tons of options for it. Final things are your sources. So if you want to see where did the AI get this information from, if you have just chosen a topic or you didn't give it a specific URL, you can go ahead, click into here, see, 13 best states for Gen Z professionals in 2026, nightlife, music venues and bars in Austin, etc. You can see where did it find the information that it put in this caption. And then finally, the newest feature, which we're super excited about, is the translate post button. So now you do have the option of translating your post into French or Spanish. We've started with these two to start because these are the two that we have the most requests for. If you guys know, we are a largely North American company, so we're in Canada and the US, and we've had a ton of requests for French and Spanish, rightfully so. So now you can go ahead, you can choose the language, you can click translate. It's going to take that caption, it's going to completely translate it into the language that you have chosen, as well as the design too. So if you do want to sprinkle in, some French posts, now you've got that, rewritten in French. Same thing, your slides are all rewritten in French. Now I know we're at 2:43. I'm going to try to get through the final few things before Michael yells at me. I do know he's in here. So, okay, a couple additional things. When your posts are in an unscheduled status, you can drag and drop them around wherever you would like. They are not scheduled. They're not, set for that date and that time. Go ahead, drag them around, move them around. Very, very easy way to kind of move things around. You can also duplicate your posts. So when you are working on a post, let's say you have your listing post like this, and you're like, ooh, this is fantastic. I actually want this to go out every Friday for the next 4 weeks. Go ahead and click duplicate. And what that's going to do is that's going to duplicate that entire post. Caption, image, absolutely everything. It's down here. Where is it? Down here. So caption, image, absolutely everything. Amazing. Now you can repurpose that duplicated post. And by repurpose, I mean, this is an Instagram post. You can click into that platform and you can go, let's put this out on Facebook and LinkedIn. Fantastic. Now I have that ready to go for Facebook and LinkedIn as well. Or let's say you head into the editor and you change the copy on here. You change it to an open house. So let's say you change it to something like this. Now you've got a nice open house and you edit the caption and you add the open house details here. Perfect way to get an open house post out And let's say you then duplicate it and you have that go out every Friday that showcases your following Saturday and Sunday open houses for that property for as long as you are hosting open houses for. Maybe you tweak the color every other week, you tweak the color so that the main color is yellow and the accent color is orange, or you move the open house to the top right or whatever. You can really get creative with it. Or you can go ahead and click that convert video button. And now you've turned that listing carousel into a slideshow video. So another great way, you're showcasing the exact same property, but in a different way. So you have tons and tons of different options when it comes to duplicating and like really getting creative. Finally, if you are a person who is just rocking it on social media, or if you want to try to challenge yourself to post some more posts from scratch, if you want to use RealEstateContent.ai as simply a scheduler, you can totally do that too. You don't have to go through the entire generation flow. If you have a post you want to go out on all of your socials, simply choose the day, click more options, click upload your own content. It's going to give you a nice blank post. So completely post from scratch. There's no caption, there's no images, nothing. It's set to Instagram. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say, nope, I'm creating for Facebook and LinkedIn as well. You go ahead, you write your caption. Maybe you have a perfect caption. You just want to copy and paste it in there or write it from scratch. Or maybe you need a little help writing your caption and you're like, what a beautiful weekend it was. Spent it with my clients who purchased their first home. Lots to celebrate this week. Again, you're like, I don't even know. Honestly, I'm so fried. It's a Monday. I don't know. Sure, this is the best I can do. You can go ahead, you can click enhance your caption. AI is going to take whatever you've written in there and it's going to zhuzh it up for you for social media. So it's going to make it a little bit longer, more informational. It's going to look like you've taken a ton of time to put it together. So we're going to let it do its thing. And then once that caption comes up, we're going to give it a quick once over and we'll go into editing the content. So we'll give it a second just to create that caption. And don't worry, I am watching the time. I might start talking a little bit faster towards the end of this, but we're gonna make sure we get through all the rest of this stuff in a second. We'll give it a second just to generate. But while it's doing that, that's going to generate you a caption. Then when it comes to the images, you can then upload your own media. So you can upload your own photo or video in here to schedule to post on these 3 platforms. Or you can edit the design. So maybe I'm just going to abandon this super quick just so I can show you guys. Edit design, and you can use all of the features within the editor to create a post from scratch. So let's say you want to do something like, happy, what's the next? What's a holiday that just happened? I don't know. Happy Easter. Happy first day of summer. First day of summer. Beautiful. Let's center that. Let's change that font. Maybe we want to do literature. Maybe we want to do this one and we'll make it a little bit smaller. We'll make it 20 and we'll put it in the center and we'll change the color. And then we'll add a nice image from the image backgrounds. You can really get creative with it. So even if you don't have an image to upload as your image, you can still go into the editor and take full advantage of the entire image library, the videos, the fonts, absolutely everything. So as you can see, caption has generated. What a beautiful weekend it was here in Austin. I had a wonderful opportunity to spend it celebrating with my clients as they officially close on their first home. There's truly nothing quite like the excitement of handing over the keys to first-time home buyers. It goes on. You didn't even have, you wrote less than a sentence. You wrote like 6 words and it did all of this for you. So you're good to go. If you want to further enhance it, go ahead, enhance your caption, tell it exactly what you want. It's going to further enhance it. But this is a great way to post posts that look like this. So here is an image of you and your team from a conference this past weekend, or you and your clients, or you and your family. And now you can schedule it to go out on these 3 platforms. Super, super quick and easy. And then finally, I did want to pop into those advanced settings really quick, just so we can revisit them. We said we would come back to them. So I'm going to pop into the generation flow, which we did at the very beginning of this call. And then we went ahead, we chose our days, we chose our post type, we chose our platforms, all that good stuff. And then we scrolled down to advanced settings and we said, okay, we're going to come back to this at the very end. If you click into advanced settings, now these are going to make so much more sense for you guys. So within advanced settings, if you want to toggle on your saved templates, you can do that. Remember, your saved templates was that template that I saved at the very end. And I was like, ooh, I want to use this in the future. So if you have a ton of saved templates and you would rather the AI chooses from your saved templates versus the suggested template library, you can go ahead and toggle that on, and it's going to only choose from your saved templates. This is obviously keeping in mind that if you only have 4 saved templates, it's only going to choose from those 4 saved templates. So make sure you've beefed up your saved templates before you toggle that on. Or if you intentionally would only, if you intentionally know that you want to limit the amount of templates, totally cool. Maybe you have 4 templates that you're like, I always want to use these 4. Go ahead, toggle it on, but you do have that option. Then you also have the option to choose your background source. So this is where we had chatted about the favorites folder. So this is going to be, if you're new to the platform, this is going to be set to all. So it's going to go through the image library of the 22,000 images, and it's going to choose whatever it wants to put into the background, okay? But if you beef up your favorites folder, you go ahead, you click into here, and you specifically choose favorites. And now you are telling it, when I generate, I want you to only select from the favorites folder where I have put the images that I like the best, and it will only ever choose from those. I highly recommend doing that. This is also perfect if you are creating additional folders within the editor. So if you have a kitchens folder or a nature folder or a hyper-local folder, you can quite literally tell it only use this folder, and it will only use that folder for the backgrounds. Sync templates is going to give you the same design per each platform. So let's say you've generated Facebook and Instagram for the same day. It's going to give you the same design template. The words are going to be different, but the design and the template is going to be the same. Entirely up to you. I like to sync my templates just because I like to know, okay, I had this triangle yellow one go out on Monday. I'm going to do a reel that goes out on Tuesday. That just kind of helps me wrap my head around what went out. But if you want all of the templates to be different, you just turn that off. It's going to make sure that every template is different. You've got your contact information that you would have either set up alone or with Nick. You've got your brand colors. So make sure those are always toggled on so that they apply to any of the templates. You've got your headshot and your logo. So you know which headshot and which logo are going to be put into your designs. Then you can choose your writing style as well. So it's always going to default to standard when you first join the platform. But if you have a specific writing style, you can go ahead and say, no, I want you to do bullet point forms for all the captions. I want you to do long form, or you can switch it up every time you generate if you want. These advanced settings will always save whatever your last advanced settings were. So you don't have to click into this every time you generate. You can set this once and forget it and never go into it again if you don't want to. But you do have that option to click into this if you want to make any changes before you generate. Your emojis, so if you want emojis in your captions, your footer, which is that little piece of text that gets added to the end of the caption. So if you want to add your contact information down there or a call to action, I highly, highly recommend doing this. I think this is great. This way you can also keep some of your designs a little more minimalistic. So it's not always contact information on every slide if you're trying to kind of get away from that. Or if you have to put your DRE number on things and you're finding that it's taking up a lot of space on your designs, you can put it in your caption like this, and then you know that all of your posts are going out with it, but you don't necessarily have to find a space for it on your actual post. Same as your hashtags. If you have any specific hashtags you'd like to add to the end of your captions, you add them here. You can set your spelling preference. So of course, whether you're in Canada or in the States, you can go ahead and choose which spelling preference you would like. You've got your header font, your subtext font, your contact font. If you have specific fonts that you want to make sure are toggled on, you can go ahead, set them here, toggle them on, or keep them toggled off, and it will just simply choose whichever font is in the template when it's generated. So you've got all of those nice options. This is going to make your life a million times easier when you generate. You know, you set this up once and you're good to go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing for a second and plop into the chat. I know we have 6 minutes. So I know that Michael's going to give me the countdown very soon. So I'm going to start talking really fast to get through some of these questions, just because I want to make sure to try to get through as many of them as possible. If I don't get to your question, again, you guys, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put the support email just right in here, and 5 minutes. Thank you, Michael. And then Michael, you know what we are going to do more likely than not is in June, I think we're actually going to start these advanced trainings at 1 p.m. instead of 1:30, just to have a little bit more time, because there's more and more to get through every week. So thank you for recording it. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, of course. Don't worry. I'm going to make sure you get the recording. I know this is a lot to get through, so I promise I always send out the recording. How do I get the AI twin to pronounce my cities? Dana, just email us. We have a little bank where we are telling it how to pronounce. It's being a little finicky. So it's a brand new feature. So every week we're kind of working on improving it, but we've introduced like a pronunciation bank where we have basically written out how to say specific things. So if there's anything that you're finding is being pronounced not great, shoot us off an email, tell us exactly how it's pronounced, and then we will type that into the pronunciation bank. Yes, Liliana, Facebook does not do carousels. And yeah, Pete, so carousel posts, some of them they'll do all the same background, some of them they'll alternate, some of them they'll do a different one in each one. It depends. It really just, because variety is the name of the game, it'll kind of spit out something different each time. So if you want it to be different in each of them, we went through that when we were in the editor. Just do the scheduling once a month. Yeah, you can totally do the scheduling once a month. Can you edit the captions? Yes, Marianne, we went through that. How do I change my carousel from all being the same? Okay, we went through that as well. And from Google Drive, Lily, not yet for Google Drive, but that is on our radar for sure to be able to pull things from Google Drive, 100%. I noticed in the content, it's created my name that doesn't default to fit the image. Is there a way to change this for all posts created going forward? Oh, my name is long. Yes. Oh, that one is a tough one, because what we did when we created those templates is we basically have to take that text field and we pull it across as far as we can. If it's longer than that text field, like where it starts and where it ends, it starts to kind of bleed into the second part. So Jennifer, what we're actually going to do within the next couple of months is we're going to allow you, I think this is actually Michael's suggestion, or he passed it on. Oh, I've got a couple of minutes. He passed it on to me last week, but we're actually going to give you guys the ability to set the font size. So I think that that's going to help. It's hard because the templates are all universal. So we can't, if we move that text bar too far, it's going to look weirder with the short names. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys the ability to be able to choose a font size. And it might just be that because your name is a little bit longer, just like choose a little bit of a smaller font for the name. And then that way it can fit in there. Definitely a work in progress though, but there's no way to really do it like in bulk right now. Can I make that video with the AI twin? So you can make an AI twin video through the AI twin flow. I have 2 minutes, so I can't show you guys it, but it's just right underneath the topic. Go ahead and click create AI twin. Oh, Michael's giving me the countdown. Go ahead, click create AI twin, and then that will create you an AI twin post. AI twins are specifically just up there right now. They don't go on the listings. They don't go on the other posts. It's a brand new feature, but we are planning on bringing the AI twins to other parts of the platform. We just so happen to start with the kind of like news feature just to kind of see, do people like them? What's the feedback? How can we improve speed wise, accuracy wise, stuff like that. And then you'll see it throughout the rest of the platform. 94 degrees. I'm so jealous. Oh my goodness. Brokerage